I was not that into Steven Universe. I watched it once in a while, but I was too busy watching these other two shows.
But from what I saw of the show, I didn't think it was half bad.
A year ago, the show was coming to an end and a movie was going to come out. And obviously fans of the show were hyped of the movie. But this movie got pretty big on the internet, spawning a bunch of videos on it. So here I am making a video on my take of the movie. Now, like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm not that big in Steven Universe, so I don't really know much things. So this video will only be talking about the movie and not much from the show. So sorry if I don't touch upon the show or future as much. The movie starts off with an opening credits that tells us what happened on the show, which is great for new people like me that don't know anything about the show. And later on, there's even an opening number that tells us what each character did and do. Everything is fine and dandy until boom, the introduction of a lifetime. This is Spinel. She's essentially the antagonist of the movie, and she's animated like a 1930s cartoon. She gives off a bit of a Harley Quinn vibe. She makes a pretty good first impression when she poofs the three main crystal gems. You know when an antagonist means business when it kills off a character you love? That seems to work in media a lot. Spinel tries to poof Steven, but it doesn't work out well. And just like that, villainous Spinel is out of... God. And just like that, villainous Spinel is out of half the movie.
Steven! I came as fast as I could. Are you okay? Holy sh...
All the gems have been reset to their original personalities. Pearl is serving Greg, Ruby is protecting Sapphire, Amethyst is mimicking everyone, and Spinel is Steven's new best friend. After Steven realizes this, he goes to... these guys for some help. Steven tries to get Ruby and Sapphire together by threatening Sapphire with the giant's pizza cutter, and it ends up kinda working. But obviously, Garden's memories aren't back. So Steven starts looking for Amethyst. He finds her and tries to bring her memory back by singing and dancing. Oh yeah, I guess this is a good time to mention the soundtrack. At times the soundtrack can be uplifting, saddening, or maybe just a bop to listen to. I'm not big on musicals, but this movie is an exception on that part.
Aw shit, Abner's gonna nitpick, here we go.
Alright, in the part of the movie where Steven and Amethyst shake hands, do that handshake thingy, don't you think it would have been kind of clever if they did that handshake throughout the show and then they did it in the movie as a callback to the show? I don't know, guys. Where's my paycheck? Sorry, I'm having this. Amethyst gets her memories back, and Steven wants to do a rock show in order to get Pearl's memories back, and that's exactly what happens. Except Spinel gets all emotional. Colonel, we get some new info about Spinel out of Pearl. Steven and Spinel travel to the garden, and this is where we find out what happened to Spinel and what her motivations are. Pink Diamond and Spinel had a lot of fun in the garden until the day Pink Diamond had to leave. Since Spinel is not too keen on being left alone, Pink Diamond played a trick on Spinel and had her stand in the garden as many years went by. Until Spinel gets that message that Steven sent in the beginning of the movie. This is where Spinel realizes that she's been abandoned all these years while Rose Quartz Pink Diamond was giving birth to Steven. Then later on, Steven would have fun with new friends, thus giving us an explanation for Spinel's evilness. So this is basically one of those wah wah, you did something to me in the past and now I have come back for revenge kind of stories. I'll let it slide. Something that I would say if Steven Universe didn't already do this multiple times. Yeah, I'm not that ignorant to the show. Steven essentially tells Spinel that he's open to befriend her. Spinel accepts Steven as a friend and helps him undo the things that she's done. And she starts with lifting the injector. Then Spinel feels like she's being used and will be backstabbed at any moment. So she puts the injector back but in a different location, and that destroys the environment around them. Spinel grabs a hold of Garnet and Steven breaks the rejuvenator, giving Garnet the last piece for her to get her memories back. Garnet and the gems fight Spinel for a bit.
Wow! Incredible!
Spinel makes the fluid inside of the injector release even more, and that causes a ripple throughout Beach City. Steven wants to talk to Spinel while Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl save everyone in Beach City. Steven climbs on top of the injector to talk to Spinel, but then Spinel attacks Steven and Steven almost dies. But what's this? Steven gets his powers back because of his ability to change? What? I know that Steven's powers have something to do with his feelings, however, I do feel like it's a bit convenient that Steven's powers come back when he could potentially die. I'll let it slide though, considering that we get a genuinely epic fight scene between Steven and Spinel. I know I've been boringly talking about what's been happening on the movie, but I will say that this is where the animation shines the most. Spinel doing these cartoonish and borderline wacky attacks like spinning herself into a top and making her hands bigger while Steven is trying to defend himself is fun to watch. This is definitely part of the movie I come back to the most, outside of Spinell's first introduction.
You can't just make everything better by singing some stupid song!
Yeah, well, shut up, Spinell. It worked anyways. Yes, it's true. Spinell gets emotional once again, and all she wants is a better friend. The injector explodes, but thankfully, Steven uses— Wait a minute, that thing just exploded. Doesn't that mean like the world has been endgamed now? Apparently not, because we're supposed to assume that Steven licked everything. You know what? I'm not gonna even question it. I just want to get this video done with. The diamonds come out of nowhere and, oh yeah, these guys are also in the movie. Yeah, I didn't really acknowledge their existence because the movie was too busy giving me Infinity War flashbacks. Spinell goes with the diamonds. The world is saved, I guess. And everyone is happy. Yay, yay, happy ending, yay, yay! You know what would have been darker? What if Spinell was more of an unhinged person than a broken one? What if Spinell wasn't easily swayed by Steven singing? What if she was harder to change as a person? And what if Spinell showed more of her evil side and threatened the life of a gem that Steven cared about? Which I know has already been shown in the movie, but they showed that side of her very briefly and they didn't really take advantage of it in terms of making her a bit of a more threatening person. What if after everything Steven has done in order to change Spinell, it ended up not working? What if Steven just got tired of Spinell's bullshit and when it came to saving the world, he had to shatter Spinell? And I already know what you're going to say. That seems like something Steven wouldn't do. But I have an answer for this. You see, in Steven Universe Future, Steven starts acting a lot like his mother. So why not show early signs of this and show him doing something he usually doesn't do and shatter the antagonist? Wouldn't it have been crude? Yes, it would have been very crude considering the information that we know about Spinell and what happened to her. But it would have been unexpected and something different compared to the last time Steven has dealt with an antagonist before, since his main goal is to essentially find another way. But doing this would have left a mark on Steven Universe Future and for the character. And since this is a movie and a big event for the show, you would think of doing something a bit out of the norm and risky.
Like that's ever gonna happen.
Nah, let's redeem Spinell and put her in the list of redeemed antagonists in the Steven Universe. So here's basically my opinion on Steven Universe, the movie. I guess I'll talk about the plot first. The beginning of the movie does a good job at exploring the world of Steven Universe for newcomers, and demonstrating how everything was peaceful before Spinell came out of nowhere. But everything after that slows down. A big chunk of the movie has been dedicated to bringing back the memories of gems who've been poofed, which lost my interest when rewatching the movie. But whenever the spotlight was on Spinell, the movie intrigued me once again. The final fight between Steven and Spinell was probably the best part in the whole movie, second place being Other Friends Bite Me. Next is the characters. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, most of the characters in this movie I really didn't care about. But Spinell really is the star of the movie here. She gives off a goofy and twisted personality that not the other villains from the show have ever pulled off. Knowing what Spinell's been through, it makes sense why she did what she did. She was heartbroken from what Pink Diamond did to her. But in the end, she ended up in a new home with better friends. As for the other characters, Steven is that basic protagonist who's positive all the time, you know the rest. Amethyst is like a cool girl who has a chill personality and acts like a sister around you. Pearl is that motherly character that cares for Steven. Garnet is I don't know. Oh, and they're all gay, so that puts them all in my kill list. The music really is the pro of this movie. All of the actors did such a good job at singing the songs. Most songs touch upon different types of genres here and there. What are my favorites, you may ask? Let Us Adore You, True Kinda Love, No Matter What, Other Friends, and Change. Of course it's Change, come on! The animation can get a bit inconsistent at times. Like this part right here in the Spinell fight. This wide shot just looks so uncomfortable. Don't you think it needs, oh I don't know, a zoom in? Are these people or part of the background? And why does Pearl look so wacky? I'm sure a lot of hard work went into the animation, but I just feel like there are parts in the movie and where they just got lazy. Actually, the animation in general could use a bit of an upgrade, but I think it's safe to say that it looks the same compared to the show. Even the SpongeBob movie had better animation than the show, and that was a comedy made for kids. Obviously, the animation isn't abysmal. I just wish they could have taken advantage of the fact that they're making a movie. Well, with all of this said, I think it's time to rank the movie. Now, you guys might not like to hear this, but the 1 to 10 ranking system just won't work out for me. So instead, I have made a brand new ranking system. I introduce to you the Atmer Meter, a simplified ranking system exclusively for this YouTube channel. But that just leaves the question, where does Steven Universe the movie rank in this? Yeah, it's like a decent. This movie becomes more and more brain melting the more you watch it, kind of like my videos. The movie is only good if you've seen it one time. Because once you start seeing it over and over and over again, its imperfection starts cracking out. In my opinion, they really had a missed opportunity to make the movie darker and also have some foreshadowing for Steven's future. I mean, the plot isn't bad, but it's nothing out of this world. If you're a Steven Universe fan, you'll definitely like this movie, but for a person like me who's not a fan and hasn't even watched the show for the longest time, I'd rather watch something else. This video feels weird in comparison to my last video. That's because halfway through making it, I didn't want to make it anymore. Mostly because I knew that there wouldn't be that many jokes and there'd be more opinions. But some people like that, so I continued to work on this video. Steven Universe was kind of a weird thing for me to touch upon. If I'm being honest, the only reason why I had the idea to even talk about Steven Universe the movie was because I was jumping on a bandwagon that was relevant a year ago. But that's okay, guys. I'll go back to talking about media that I'm more comfortable with. But until then,
Suffer the early phase of my YouTube channel.
dislike bomb the video.
That's a pimp.